What is going on, guys, and welcome to Mustachebetting, a place where you become the best betting version of yourself. And welcome to week 10 of the NFL. This Thursday night football, we have the Raiders and Broncos facing off against each other. I know, an exciting matchup, right? But just because the game might not be exciting does not mean that we don't have plenty of exciting value in the picks that I personally selected. I did a lot of research going into Thursday night football's picks, so you're going to want to stay tuned for those. But first, let's recap week 9 of the NFL over here at the Mustache Betting channel. So we took Mark Andrews on Thursday Night Football last week, week 9, to go over his receiving yards that ended up losing. Falls about 5 yards short. And then we took Tua to go over his passing yards and Derrick Henry to go over his rushing yards. Those both end up hitting. So we go 2-1 on Thursday Night Football. Sunday Night Football, we end up getting swept, unfortunately. We go 0-3. And then Monday Night Football, we took Marvin Harrison Jr. to go over his receiving yards prop. And he ends up going about 50 yards over, getting 110 yards or so. And then we took Jake Ferguson to go over his receiving yards. He ended up soaring over that as well. So we go 2-0 on Monday Night Football. That brings our weekly total to 4-4 on the week. And that brings our weekly total unit-wise to minus 0.2 units lost on the week as a whole. And that brings our season total in the NFL to minus 14.3 units lost in the NFL. If you were here earlier in the season, you know we had a ton of misfortune when it comes to injuries and things like that. But we haven't had a week as bad as we've had in the first 3 weeks in a while. But I'm always going to be transparent with you guys. I'm never going to hide from any of the units, whether we're up or down. I'll always be transparent with you guys. But things have been changing. We've been on the slow, steady climb since we started changing our approach to the NFL. But it's still a grueling process, just like with anything betting-wise in the NFL. But hopefully things can change this week. Today I have for you 2 of my best bets for Thursday Night Football. Let's jump right into it. So my first best bet of the day is going to be Evan Engram of the Broncos under 31.5 receiving yards, minus 114 at FanDuel for a unit. Evan, he's hit the under in this line in 4 of his last 10. So you might ask, why am I taking him then? Well, I'm taking him because the Raiders, they rank 25th in receiving yards allowed to the tight end position, and they rank 30th in receptions allowed to the tight end position as well. So they're neither allowing receptions or receiving yards to the tight end position. And if we look at the last 3 tight ends to face this Raiders team, 2 of the 3 have not hit their line. So tight ends are struggling when facing this specific team. Evan Engram, he's only been the first read option versus zone 15% of the time. And the Raiders, they play zone coverage 83% of the time. So you have a low zone first read option rate. And then you also have a high defense that ranks very highly against the tight end position. So like those 2 factors combined, give me Evan Engram to go under. And if you guys could, please like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know, do I have a funny looking face? Anything that may be on your mind, be sure to leave it down in the comments down below. Also, make sure you have those notifications turned on so that you are not missing out on any of the value of my plays. These lines, they always move in the opposite direction from when I post them because of the time and the research that's going into these plays. Make sure you lock in the best rates by keeping those notifications turned on. Thanks. So my second best bet of the day is going to be Courtland Sutton over 55.5 yards receiving, minus 114 for a unit on FanDuel. Courtland, he's hit the over in this line in 7 of his last 10. And on Thursday, he'll face off against the Raiders, who allow the 8th most receiving yards and the 5th most receptions to the wide receiver position. Now, last game, Courtland Sutton did only have 32 yards, but it was a different atmosphere. Courtland Sutton was playing a lot of man coverage, which he struggles against. So this game, things are going to be a bit different. Additionally, if you look at the read rates, Courtland Sutton, he's been the first read option 23% of the time versus zone, and the Raiders, because of their weak pass rush, they are forced to play zone over 83% of the time. And the Raiders, they've allowed 63 explosive plays of 10 yards or more on the season to the wide receiver position. So I expect Sutton to continue the pattern. Give me Sutton to go over. So to recap everything, we have Evan Engram to go under 31.5 receiving yards, and then we have Courtland Sutton to also go over his 55.5 receiving yards prop. So an under and over, 2 plays. That's all I have for this Thursday night football slate. I do think that we could get a potentially good matchup here if the Raiders can manage to keep the game close, but we'll see what actually happens. Aside from that, guys, if you could please like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment down below, leave any suggestions or comments that you may have about the channel in the chat, and I'll be sure to try and respond and incorporate any feedback you may have into the channel itself, because I want to give you guys the best viewer experience possible. But aside from that, enjoy, guys, this Thursday night football game. It should be fun regardless of the matchup, and yeah, be safe if you're going out. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.